Tell me true. How did you escape your darkness?
Senua, once I found my purpose, I was no longer enslaved to the suffering I had to endure to reach it. Unclouded by fear, I could see it clearly in others. Even my captors feared the fire of Cert. And so, during one raid, I took my chance and ran, knowing that they would not follow. The fool ran into the fire. They left me for dead. Maybe they were right to. But here I am. Free.
I'm glad I found you in the wilds. I wouldn't have made it without you.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok, the sons of Muspel will travel to battle in the ship called Naglfar, the corpse ship. And when the sons of Muspel leave the ship and ride to battle, it will be as though the sky had split open, and Cert will lead them. Wherever he goes, flame will erupt before him, and fires will burn behind him.
then so can you. Run! Through the fire! Keep running! Go on! Nothing will stop me! Run, Senua! Run! Run, Senua! Through the fire! Head down and charge the
She's dying!
It's empty. It's empty. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This darkness takes everything. Everyone.
Senua, are you sure you want to do this? We can fight this together, side by side. We always do.
This is my battle. I have to face it alone, away from here.
Where will you go?
I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know.
I believe in you. You know that. Just promise me that you will come back to me. I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
I will come back to you. I promise.
Come on.
Spill the blood of Surt. Take his mark, and I will change you from the underworld and forever be in your debt.
You destroyed everything! Everyone! But not me! Fight me now!
For every battle won, a greater battle takes its place. And so it goes. Until we fall. And in the end, we all fall. Even the gods have their time. Yet we still go on. Why?
I made a promise, and I will go to hell to keep
I
it.
die free, knowing you will carry my stories with you. I have fulfilled my quest.
Yes, you have.
When the darkness comes, I vow to guide you in this life and the next to fulfill yours.
Then I will see you in hell.
Be ready. Yet we still to face horror in the eye, as I have.
And I will go
To find your answers. Free. Your quest. You will carry my stories with you. Your truth. I have fulfilled my quest.
Yes, you have.
Darkness comes. I vow
Druth was a troubled
guide
man,
you. I have.
a scholar turned slave. They tortured him, took him with them on their raids, drove him to madness. Them on their raids, drove him to spreading this new form of darkness to new worlds, spreading this new form of darkness to my world, to my world. Senua saw a deep connection form between Senua saw a deep connection form between the Northmen and the darkness. That was the source of it. His tales of hell were true. She learned everything she could. And that was the source of it. Until she too could see. She learned everything she could from him. Until she too could see what he saw. Have you ever died before? It's a serious question. An illusion of self is shattered. You simply cease to be. You know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again.
With the mark of Valravan and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
Have you ever died before? It's a serious question. When the illusion of self is shattered, you simply cease to be. Though it may not seem that way to others, you know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again. Senua has died. And she will do so again. Of thought and the mind. You can be sure of that. He gave her the sword with which to fight in war. until she too could see what he saw.
With the mark of Valravan and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again.
She did it. She did it. She can open the gate to Helheim.
To Hela.
She did it. She did it. She can open the gate to Helheim.
To Hela. To Dillian. She did it.
She did it.
Open the gate. Open the gate.
With the mark of Valravan and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
Why is she waiting?
Open the gate. Open
No,
the
don't.
gate.
No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't open the gate. Don't. She's done. Why is she waiting?
Open the gate. Open
No,
the gate.
don't. No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't open the gate. Don't. She's done.
Only the dead may cross into hell.
It's so dark. It's dark. The dark. Only the dead may cross.
Only the dead may cross into hell.
Truth? Anyone?
There is no one here but me.
But you?
Did you think that I would let you go?
Truth?
That you lost me back in the wilds?
Anyone?
I will never let you go. There is no one here that can read. I am your shadow. Did you think that I would let you go? That you lost me back in the wilds? I will never let you go. You can't get rid of me. I am your shadow, beloved. And I will be watching when you draw your last dying gasp.
I'm not ready to die.
You will be when you see what they did to your dear beloved.
Damien!
You searched in this waking nightmare. A way to pull through. Where all love that can't hear true. To smother. You searched for control and banish. A way to pull through. When you ran low, you left to stormy black seas. They raided these smother your furies. And banish your fears. But in darkness they came. Through stormy black seas they raided these shores. At your home. Do you still hear so far away? They've taken you now. At your home. To these gods you cannot so far away. They can break you, but they've taken your soul. Even death won't keep you apart. To these gods you cannot pray. In your sword still beats. They can break you, but not your promise. You fought even death won't spoil your heart. By your darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats. Our heart now is no way to win. You fought for love unspoiled. In the head of his core. By your darkness within his soul. You fought for your dreams. So now there's nowhere to win him back home. In the head of his corpse lies the seat of his soul. So you must carry his vessel to bring him back home. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through this darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. The darkness touched you. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. A gaze averted from light. The darkness touched you. You ran from it. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. Led it to a gaze, an endless suffering, averted worse from light. And you wanted to. You ran from it, but brought it nearer to find peace with the gods. Led it to him. No, an endless suffering, worse than death. Darkness won't allow it. And you wanted to surrender. So you will walk abandon the lair of the beast with the gods. Look it in the eye, and you will go. The darkness won't allow it. This is your mission. So you will walk into the lair of the beast. Your quest. Look it in the eye, and you will go to war. This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left. The gods made you a warrior for a reason. It's your calling.
He's a better fighter. End it. No, it's nearly the end.
Why suffer the past when there is a new road ahead? The only one that makes any sense.
Stop them! You're close!
Every gate you open into darkness brings another challenge.
Quick, get up! They're coming! She's injured! She can still do it! Get up, quickly! Get up! She's hurt! She won't make it! Watch out! Get up! She's going to die. She's hurt. She's injured. She won't make it. He finished him! Behind you! There's more. Be ready. Too slow. Finish this. Finish it. End it. Defend yourself. He's down. Finish it. Finish it. Watch out! She's hurt. There's blood. Get up quick. Fast. It's not over. It's not over. Take him down! Take him down now!
however you come to the gold-covered bridge that leads to Hell, you may find it guarded by a giantess. She will ask your name. She will ask your lineage. She will ask your business. The Northmen tell of the warrior woman Brynhild, who leapt into fire and rode to Hell to join her slain love Sigurd, and is challenged by the giantess.
The journey to Helheim is never a straight one. Each must find their own path. Align yourself to its secrets, and you will find yours.
It's just like hiding. You'll never find them. Focus.
Oh, Senua. Your father does not hate me. He just fears the souls in the underworld. He cannot see that they are already afraid. But I am their healer, and I must answer their cries for help, even if it displeases him.
Hela possesses large dwelling places in Helheim. Tall are her walls, high are her gates. The name of her dish is hunger. Her knife is famine. On her threshold all will stumble. Her bed is called sick bed, and her bed hangings are called flames of a funeral pyre. They say she is easy to recognize, half black and half the color of flesh, and her face menacing and grim.
Gate. It's opening.
Who is it? It's coming.
That song again.
Is it? Is it? Is it?
It's Hela.
Yes, the source of the darkness. It's coming. This is your moment.
I'm sorry. I can't watch this. I'm sorry.
What are you doing? You're showing weakness. You're not a warrior. You're a disgrace. The gods will punish you for this.
Get up.
Pick up the sword. Pick it up. Fight the darkness. Fight it. Get up. Get up. Get up and fight.
stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before. They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts, and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake, and we only see what our inner eye creates for us? Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares? Maybe that's why people feared seeing the world through her eyes. Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
You failed the gods. You're pathetic. Rotten. Cursed. What were you thinking? Did you really think you could win? How stupid can you be?
So stupid.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
The shadow hates.
Look at you. A warrior. Worthless. Weak. Pathetic. Go on. Feel sorry for yourself, because there's no one left to do that for you.
Everywhere. You failed. What's that?
Take it. If you're too much of a coward to fight, then end the suffering. Broken and lost. Just like your sword.
Come on. Dare.
Why go on when you give everything and face that which torments you, only to find that it is worse than you could have imagined? Why go on? Is it really so weak to ask this? Or are we just so afraid of the honest answer that we do not dare pose the question? Sometimes the answer lies in a memory, a feeling, a song.
It's not real. It's a trick. It's not real. It is real. Listen to it.
Don't give up.
Dillian. It's
Not like this.
It's not real. It is real. It's a trick. Don't trust it. Maybe you're already dead.
Who are you?
Do you still believe in me, Senua?
No, it's
Enough.
It's a trick. She knows it's him. It's a trick. He's already dead. He can't be here. It's impossible.
Come to me. Please.
The light. Go towards the light. It's him. There he is. It can't be him. It's just a trick. It's in your mind.
No, he's here.
It's in your mind.
It's real. It's happening.
Go towards it. There it is. You're imagining things. It's Dillian. He's gone. You were so slow. How could you? Keep going. How could you? Keep going. Ignore the pain. I told you. It was to trick you. I told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
The Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
Senua, there will be times that you will feel alone and exhausted, like a strange little fish swimming against the tides of the big ocean. But have the faith to let go and let the tide carry you away. Because the whole ocean is your home, and it does not ask you to swim against it.
Already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
there he was, the lone figure of a boy.
He's there, under the tree.
Soul play under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing, and the world danced with him.
Under the tree.
The glue lifted. For the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution. Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens. The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they're met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers and steals them. As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
No, it's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Don't you really? You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick. You're deluded. Where are you going? Where is she going? What is she find? You can't even fight.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. But luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one?
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment When you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing!
Shut up! Dillion? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
You want to believe it. He's not real. Is he there? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillion? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay. And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram.
What's happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods.
True.
Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said the great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard. Go to the shards. What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you. Find it. The metal. The runes. You need to find it. There it is. Focus. There's the shard. Focus. Focus. Use your eyes. Look. Get closer. What can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place. Where are we? Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound.
So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death.